Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has thanked everyone who has helped push through the €89 billion US military aid package adopted on Saturday. An Israeli airstrike on a house in Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah killed at least 13 people, 6 of them children. The Venice Biennale's 60th exhibition opens with Russia absent and pro-Palestine protests. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has thanked everyone who has been fighting so hard for the US military aid package adopted on Saturday. €57 billion from the €89 billion package will go to Ukraine and help the country's military to bulk up their assets and defenses in the face of Russia's continued aggression.
Пакет американської підтримки, за який так ми боролися, і дуже вагомий пакет, який відчують і наші воїни на передовій, наші міста і села, які потерпають від російського терору. Дякую кожному і кожній, хто підтримав наш пакет. Це рішення для захисту життя.
Ursula von der Leyen said Ukraine deserves all the support it can get against Russia. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg praised the continued bipartisan support for Ukraine. Russia criticised the passing of the bill, saying the military aid would serve to exacerbate global crises. At least 14 Palestinians were killed in a major raid by Israel Defense Forces in the West Bank near the city of Tulkarm. The IDF and border police claim to have killed at least 10 gunmen and captured 8. An Israeli airstrike on a house in Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah on Saturday killed at least 13 people, 6 of them children. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu condemned US sanctions on the IDF after a report surfaced claiming the Biden administration is set to blacklist the IDF's Netzer Yehuda for alleged human rights abuses in Gaza. Netanyahu faces continued challenges by opposition forces who are demanding his resignation, early elections, and a dramatic change to Israel's war policy to bring back the hostages still held in Gaza. Israeli sources say that 129 people are still being held in captivity, including the bodies of at least 34 dead. An Iranian allied group in Iraq said one of its bases was hit in an airstrike early on Saturday morning, injuring 3 of its members. The Popular Mobilization Forces' Kazlu base lies 50 kilometers south of the capital, Baghdad. It was not immediately clear who was responsible for the strike, but militia officials blamed US forces. The US military has denied launching any strikes in Iraq. In recent months, some of the PMF's member groups had launched attacks on US forces based in Iraq and Syria, which they said was in retaliation for Washington's support of Israel in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas.
Hamas political bureau chief Ismail Haniyeh met with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Istanbul on Saturday. Turkish state broadcasters TRT says Erdogan and Haniyeh discussed efforts to reach a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and deliver humanitarian aid. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, Sameh Shoukry, paid an official visit to Turkey on the same day and met with Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. During the visit, bilateral relations as well as the situation in Palestine and regional developments were discussed.
Venice Biennale's 60th exhibition will gather together the work of more than 300 artists from 88 countries, including first-timers from Benin, East Timor, Ethiopia and Tanzania. The curator, Adriano Pedrosa, is the first to come from South America. Despite being one of the world's biggest art events, the Biennale is still affected by geopolitics and Russia won't have a pavilion. It's been banned again as it continues its war on Ukraine for a second year. Israel has a pavilion at the Biennale, but for now it is closed. Hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside it earlier this week, shouting Viva Palestina and handing out leaflets with the slogan, "No death in Venice" to people at the exhibition. A sign on the pavilion said it would not open until a ceasefire is reached and the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza are freed.